Hey y'all, Happy New Year. So today I'm gonna end the year just how I started it in January with the garden tour. So I know I kind of fell off the garden tour train, but we are back just in time for the new year. So what I'm gonna do is just take you around to some of the spots that have changed, and everything else that is exactly the same, we'll just skip. So follow me to the breakfast garden. So right here, I think you'll remember we had a giant tree that I think I said, we think it has to go, but we're not sure. We're not positive, but we think it's gonna have to go. It had to go. So the giant tree came out. We built this nice little circular planter with what we had. Hopefully one day it will be, the proper materials, but for now it works great for our strawberries. Now, that will also change because we were calling this our breakfast garden. Because if you remember in January, I said, I want to plant all my fruits out here. We're going to have blueberries, strawberries, nectarines, service berries, all of the breakfast fruits that we love so much, and be able to come out with a harvest basket and grab all of my fruit. Well, the squirrels also love that idea and they wanted to grab all of my fruit. So this will not be the breakfast garden. We're going to repurpose this area. Luckily we didn't plant too many things directly into the ground. We just have a few blueberries to move. We've already moved the other potted trees. But we're going to do a rose garden here, and I already have some great plans. I know I told you I was looking at some David Austin roses. I really want a rose garden. I've been stalking David Austin's websites right now, looking at all of their beautiful roses. So stay tuned for that. We're headed this way. So right here, if you remember, we had a line of white bricks that I just could not stand. So we took those out. We're gonna work this next year on seeding grass so it's nice and fluffy and then edging it really nicely. I did show you a garden plan that I had for this front yard garden. We have not started it yet, so to be continued. So here we are in the backyard. I did tell you that we were gonna start a dog run here and my garden was gonna be way in the back. Well, we tried that and it didn't work. Thankfully enough, we did not start the dog run build yet, so it's easy to move my garden. But you see those big tall trees? I believe they're oak trees and they shaded out the entire garden. So it's moving. This is a much sunnier spot right here, and then way back there will be the dog run. Fingers crossed next year. Now we've already started moving two of my garden beds because, well, I really only had two. I made the other ones out of stone as a last minute resort because, well, COVID. So these two garden beds were the two that Daniel built me and we brought from Brooklyn, and we moved them just a little bit down this way because right here is where we'll put the fence next year so the dogs don't go in and out of the garden space, and the rest will be dog run. So these beds that I had here made of stone, they will go, and this arch will go as well. And if you can see, we still have a couple of stones that we were going to use to anchor the posts for the dog run, but we never got to that project. I also said in January I didn't know what these were. We're not sure what these trees are yet. We'd love to find out. And if you were following me on Instagram during the takeover that Brianna let me do on her channel, you will have seen these Rose of Sharon in bloom. They were so gorgeous. I even did a video starting to propagate some of them to move to another area of my garden. So hopefully I'll be able to show you how I plant those up coming in 2021. Now, I also mentioned that I wanted to have a cut flower garden here. And while it's not perfect, it really did its job this summer. And we already have some things to add to it next summer from our Seed Savers exchange haul. So I'm so excited to share that with you when I do some seed starting here in February. So right over here, I planted my gladiator alliums and they came up beautifully, even though I didn't plant them until January. So you probably saw in the video I made this little square. I planted my alliums in there. They bloomed. They came up beautifully, and then we let it go to pot. But I mean, it is what it is. Let's head down, and I'm not taking the slope, so we're gonna take these knees all the way around. So if you remember when we first moved in, I said, I think this is a hydrangea. Well, it is a hydrangea, and it was so beautiful, not only in the summer, but a couple of weeks ago when we got our first snow and they were covered with a light dusting of white, powdery, sparkly goodness. beautiful. This elm, I think I've offered it up in one video before and I'll offer it again. I don't want this, and it is coming out next year. Mark my words. Now, this pink pathway doesn't look like much right now, but this summer, this spring, it was glory. Okay, I really did this kind of by accident. I just wanted to plant a few tulips over here, but if you remember that video way back in December, January, I was digging up all of these rocks. I was really struggling. I ran into a piece of wood. It was just treacherous. It was a nightmare. So to be able to see all of the blooms that came up this year and to add more as I go, I'm so excited to see what this does in 2021. And I have to say, I think I kept utilizing the rocks pretty well. We have a new rock garden right over here that I made this summer as well. I just planted some tulips in here, and this hibiscus, which looks so sad right now, but this is the Proven Winners slippery ballet slippers. Don't quote me on that. I'll put it on the screen. I had tomatoes in here, all of the pink things, and it was gorgeous. And then just recently in my last video, you will have seen me plant up this beauty. This is a working garden, folks. And when I say working, I mean I'm just a regular person with a regular life. And I leave my tools out. Sure do. So this rock garden you just saw me plant up in my last video when I was planting my bulbs way behind the times. And all of these rocks I dug up while I was just trying to plant like 15 daffodils. So really I just did a lot of extra work for nothing. But I'm so excited to utilize this space for heuchera, a stilbe, maybe some hostas, some big daddy hostas, which I really want and do not have yet. I'm just really excited about this space, and it looks so clean in my mind once we get it cleaned up in reality. But as of this moment, I don't think there's anything else that's changed in this garden. So I know the garden looks super bare right now, coming towards the end of the year, and I cannot wait to show you what it looks like in spring of 2021. I want to thank you so much to everybody that's been rocking with me throughout 2020, all of the new subscribers. This has been such a fun season, even though COVID kept trying to, bring us down. It wouldn't let us be great, but we are, and we did it. And I'm so happy to be sharing this garden with you. So happy New Year, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.